So this time I get to talk about something that is one of my favorite topics. And by the way, if you get to know me, you'll know I say that pretty much every time, because there's a lot of things I love talking about. I talk a lot about stress, which I know sounds weird, but I love stress because it's just this really interesting topic that we all talk about, but none of us really know what it means or are clear about how it impacts us. So I do like talking about that. I also love talking about the brain. So I have decided to walk this path and do things that terrify me because I know that there are other people out there who have things happening to them and they feel like I have all of this information. Why am I still getting hijacked by my own brain or my own body? It's so confusing. And when we share those experiences and we hear other people saying, I've had that experience as well, there's nothing more powerful or bonding than to know we're going through something difficult together. In fact, I'll share with you that one of the coolest nuggets in research I feel like that we've learned recently is that when we experience something challenging with other people, it actually helps our brain to get stronger. So the chemical cortisol, which typically builds or breaks down our brain and makes our brain atrophy, when we have cortisol plus oxytocin, it makes our brain stronger. And as women, we have this natural ability to actually have more oxytocin in our system. It's why we need to really lean on each other and communicate with each other so that when we're going through something difficult, we can know that we can do this together. And it's gonna help us to be healthier and happier. And so what I wanna spend the next few minutes talking to you about is one of the ways that I have really leaned into to help me to actually do that. And it is healthy humor. So I do have a few slides that I want to share with you. Also, by the way, if you want to write down how to connect with me, please feel free. But I never, ever put up handles during a talk because I'd really rather you just hang out with me for the next few minutes. So please don't feel like you need to be doing anything other than just being totally present. So why do we need humor at this moment? Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons. Number one is we're dealing with this serious stress mess where we tend to say, I'm stressed, and we brush it off into a bucket and we pretend like it goes away, but we carry it around on our back all day long and it's impacting us and it's spilling out to impact the people around us. At the same time, we are being pulled in so many different directions. And so if we're not careful, we can find ourselves getting hijacked by our own brain. I don't know about you, but I wake up in the morning wanting to be patient, loving, and kind. But when the first thought that comes to mind is, I don't have enough time to get it all done, my husband will tell you that's not really how I show up. Especially with my husband. By the way, it's his birthday today. So I'm flying home right after this to spend the time with him. But he's one of the most annoyingly positive people I've ever met in my life, which is also why I married him a little over a year ago. And he'll be talking and I'm like, land the plane, honey, land the plane. Like, finish the conversation already, right? I love you more than anything in this world, but I have stuff to do. So I woke up as this really loving, sweet person. And then the number one thing, by the way, that we all have in common, most people wake up and feel like there's not enough time to get it all done. Do any of you ever have that happen? Your brain is hijacked now for the rest of the day unless you go back and actually intentionally recharge it with something. Your battery is starting to wear out faster than it should, and we'll talk more about that actually in the breakout session. But we need a way to recharge ourselves, and healthy humor turns out to be one of the best ways to do that. So some different definitions of humor. The first one is a comic, absurd, or incongruous quality causing amusement. So humor is not about joke telling. You don't have to be funny to see funny. In fact, just seeing things as ironic or interesting or amusing is going to give you all the benefit. So don't worry, you don't have to try to tell jokes or tell a funny story to find things funny. And I find stuff funny all the time. Works really well for me. So the type of humor we use may be very important, but I think that we need to also understand that sometimes just playing with the stuff that happens. I mean, I'm an expert on stress, so I can guarantee you that something's gonna go wrong in this presentation, right? Because otherwise, how do you know I'm an expert? So I just show up expecting it, and then I decide to play with it when it happens, and it makes everyone feel more comfortable, which is one of the great things about humor. So specifically where humor happens in the brain, you may not care, so just roll with me for a second, because I think this is fascinating, is it actually hits 3 different parts of the brain. So at the base of the brain, we have the brain stem, and typically this is going to be initiated by laughter. Too fast. Hold the phone. There we go. Laughter, ha-ha, ha-ha, helps us to get circulation going. We feel it in our body, and it activates the brainstem, which is our sensing of information. Now, when we have humor, like finding something funny, it's an emotional experience. So you can see something that just looks odd or different and be amused by it, and it's actually going to calm down the fear center of the brain and make you feel more safe. And then wit, which is my favorite, is that quirky, intelligent humor of like getting the joke. And I call this ha ha, ho ho, and hee hee. I have a terrible joke because I don't tell jokes, but the one I always use, because it's not very many words to just give you this experience, and I'm not making light of this, so please hear me when I say this. It's a dyslexic man walks into a bra. I know, it's really a terrible joke, but it's the only thing I can remember. And why is that funny? There's a couple things happening. You're not expecting me to say that, and then you get the joke, which, by the way, if you get the joke, whether you laugh or not, it activates a whole brain recharge process. Because you just got it. I know that sounds really crazy, but this is so powerful. I have friends that are in the lab that actually show that when you find something funny, not only does it reduce cortisol and inflammation in the body, but it actually puts the brain into something called a gamma wave state. And the only other way you get there is to go live in an ashram for years and years and years and learn how to meditate, which sounds awesome to me, but don't have the time to actually do that. So finding something funny is like a shortcut. So a couple of things I just want to run through quickly, because I tend to do a longer presentation about this, is humor at work is a really great strategy. There's a lot of things that actually happen. Health and happiness, brain performance, communications, relationships, even sales and marketing strategies. I'm going to run through these here with you really quickly, but I didn't want to do it yet. Hold the phone. Okay, so the comic, just in case you can't see it, says laughter is the best medicine, which is fortunate since that's all our health plan now offers. Now, this is the way we can use, oftentimes, humor in a healthy way to communicate sometimes a challenging message. Not to make light of it, but to actually say, you know, this is difficult, we're all in this together. Now, as soon as you find something funny, the brain works better. So you can problem solve more effectively if you can find something ironic, amusing, or funny about it. So here are those kind of breakdowns in each of those different categories. Just breathe through it, it's gonna be okay. Oh, there we go. I didn't want to if you hit the clicker too fast, it goes too fast. So health and happiness, anti-aging, reduces stress, lowers cortisol, all of these great things happen in the body. And again, you don't have to laugh to make these happen. So it's not that it's a physical thing causing a physical thing, it's your brain changing your body's chemistry, which is so powerful. Brain performance, so your brain works better. You remember things more effectively. Because those stress hormones are coming down, you can navigate things more effectively. The human brain is awesome. It functions 24 hours a day from the day we're born and only stops when we're taking an exam or falling in love. Communications, when we're talking about things that are difficult, using some humor, especially kind, healthy humor, is a good way to help us to listen. It lowers status. It brings everybody back to the same level playing ground. Again, being strategic about this, being playful about it, not laughing at people in order to bring them down and elevate ourselves. Very important, of course. We also have relationships for a lot of the same reasons. We have shared experiences with people. We have quality time, more time, better time. I know that I've started to be intentional about surrounding myself with people who like to have fun and see the positive side of life, because we also have something called a negativity bias that's built into all of us. We have 5 times more negative, fear-based circuits in the brain than positive. We pay attention about 80% more to the negative things than the positive things. Seek funny, see funny, soak in funny, meaning take your time to enjoy it. Take a picture, share it with somebody. Build a funny folder of things you find along the way, create a funny playlist, share it with somebody, you're gonna get more oxytocin. Be a funny buddy, have somebody where you just say, for the next 21 days, let's share something funny with each other every day. And I want to encourage you over the next 21 days to go on your own 21-day challenge and actually look for things that are funny, share things that are funny with each other. You will be amazed. Last little thing I want to tell you is that when I did a cognitive emotional test on my brain, I found out that I was so far on the spectrum of negativity bias that I felt like a horrible person, even though I have to say I think I'm one of the nicest people I know. So I was very confused by that. Negativity bias doesn't mean you're a negative person. It means you're threat sensitive to things happening in your environment. And with an anxiety condition since I was a child, that wasn't really a surprise. When I did a humor intervention and I actually paid attention to funny things for just 30 days, I ended up in a healthy, normal range for my negativity, positivity bias, and I felt like a different person. So this isn't just a good idea. I just gave myself goosies, by the way. This isn't just a good idea. This is really powerful. This helps you to be the boss of your own brain by being intentional and strategic about using healthy humor. So I think that's all I've got. I'm excited to spend the rest of the day with all of you. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. Thank you.